Hey guys, welcome to Paintapalooza. We are going to be live for about an hour, maybe a little less than that. We are going to be painting our thrift flips that we got from last week, turning them into high-end home decor that we can sell at our shop. So grab a snack, grab your paint project, and we're just going to paint together. Caitlin is not on here, so I'm going to go ahead and be dropping links, but you can pick up the thrift flips as well as the DIY paint, the salt wash, the brushes, everything that we're going to be using at JamieRayVintage.com. When you come on, say hi. And if you're on Facebook, if you'd hit that share button, it helps us out a ton. Hey, Alley Cats.
All right, so I have crinoline. We've already, if you're a channel member and you didn't see the video, go watch the live stream. We worked on this clock and a couple frames. I got to do some touch-up work to that, but also printables are out, so you can go check those out too.
Yeah, but I painted these 3 frames, and Zep's going to bring that clock up for a close-up as soon as he gets a base layer on his project. And we're just working our way through thrift flips. We're kind of getting a head start because tomorrow we're going to start the Great Barn Clean Out. So anything that we don't get painted today will be sprayed and finished up tomorrow.
Well, here's the thing. Everything that we moved out of the garage when we cleaned out the garage last week.
We did paint a lot of it.
Yeah, we got some stuff painted, but it's been basically moved over to the barn, and now we got to clean out the barn. The barn wasn't great before either. It was starting to get caked up too. So now we've got to go in and address that. And I think once we get both spaces done, we'll be pretty efficient with our time and spraying and painting and having a workspace to actually do things, and we'll know what we have inventory wise, because right now we don't even know what's over there.
Yeah, we're gonna have a tent sale on Friday and Saturday at our shop with a lot of the projects that we get done in the barn, because our shop is like decently full. I mean, it's not empty, so we don't have space in our shop to fit a whole barn's worth of projects. And we're gonna show you guys. For us, it's just gonna be getting stuff out of the barn and doing a tent sale. But I know a lot of people do like markets and things, and we're gonna show you guys how in about 2 days you can get a tent full of inventory ready to sell. We used to do it all the time when we were younger then, but when we used to do markets. We don't do markets anymore, but
when we started doing this together full time, I was 33 years old.
Yeah.
People are like, how you have so much energy? I was in my 30s.
Now we're in our 40s. I turned 40 last year, and so now this year I'm turning 41, and Zeb's like, then you'll officially be in your 40s, not just 40. I was like,
actually, you're working on your 42nd year here soon. You're in your 41st year of life.
Anyways, I'm painting these Queen Bee because we are getting ready for fall, and that's going to be our next season in the shop, and I will show you what color I'm going to pair with this. And I like to do batch painting, meaning I'll paint a bunch of similar things or things in similar colors, and then it helps it make it easy for display. I used Hey Sailor. Let me show you. These are the 2 fall colors that I'm bringing in together. Aren't these cute? And they're not like specific for fall. Like obviously you could leave these up year round, but it does look good when I mix in fall decor with fall colors. And I usually start decorating in the shop in August. I'll usually start my fall display in August. So I've got just like a week?
Yeah.
So that's fine. It's
summer it's like the hottest part of the year right now for most places. But it's on its way out.
When you hand make most of the stuff that you sell in your store, you got to start ahead of time, right? Making some stuff. I do have a little pumpkin display at the shop. If you guys haven't been there, you should check out. Let me drop the link, because there's also the cutest pig and chicken dough bowls that just came into the shop.
I don't think they're going to last very long. I think they're going to go faster than we can get
They're
them.
in the sale collection too, because I got a really good deal on them. So let me drop the new to JRV collection. You'll see our newest design books, our pumpkins that we just brought into the shop, and the dough bowls are in the new to JRV. And since you guys are here, you're getting a little sneak peek. I'm hoping to do some sort of shop tour or something either this week or next week. We've been kind of alternating shop tour, Paintapalooza, shop tour. So this week we had to do a Paintapalooza.
So you can stipple on your salt wash mixture. I love brushing it on.
He likes it to look more like a brushed linen texture. And I'm kind of stippling this paint on this candlestick because it's so detailed.
I feel like it gives it kind of like an old world plaster look, which is what I did on this clock. I'll come show you this clock close up here in a minute. I just need to get a coat on this and get it outside in the sun.
I have a bunch of stuff to put in the sun. I was waiting on Zeb to get the live set up, and I literally painted 1, 2, 3, 4 things while I was waiting. I was like, I could wait and do this on camera, or I could just get it done now, so that way I could do the finish work on camera, since we're only going to be live for an hour. And we have a lot to get done, so I was like, time is of the essence.
Well, and right now is also football tryouts for both boys.
Yeah, so we're going to be busy tonight with that. If you guys follow me on Instagram and Facebook and you watch our stories, I posted, was it yesterday? I don't know if the stories are still up there, but I cleaned my pantry. If you guys saw last week when we cleaned our garage, how there was like stuff sitting on the floor in our pantry. I'm like, I'm going to do that next week. I did.
Someone was appalled. They couldn't handle it.
Yeah, somebody DM'd me and was like, that's disgusting. I can't believe that you're proud to share that like in stories. And I'm like, if you think this is disgusting, you clearly don't follow me. I've shown lots of messes on here. I didn't say that, but I should have. That would have been funny. Like, this is nothing. I'm getting my act together, though. We've been cleaning stuff. My laundry is, like, pretty well caught up. I have, like, 2 loads to put away. That's pretty significant. And we made it through all of the socks.
All the socks have been
All the socks have been matched or gotten rid of.
Look how thick this salt wash is.
That's funny. Sandra says, tell the DMer to mind their biz. Yeah, Zeb put her in the spam file, so he kind of did that. If you irritate us bad enough, we will block you and you will never see us again.
It wouldn't let me block or delete it because it was a DM, so I just dumped it in the spam folder. I'll never see it again.
Like, I hope that made you feel good, but now you're
I got way too many things going on.
It was for her best interest. Like, I don't want to offend her, and there will be more messes, and I will share them because that's how I am.
We've all seen the signs hanging up in pretty much every office, you know, about being able to only make so many people happy in a day, and today's not your day, kind of thing.
Oh, I thought it was a sign that said creative minds are rarely tidy.
Oh yeah, well. That's a given because we have too many projects.
Leslie's going to go look now. Leslie, let me know if it erased it. I can put in a highlight bubble on Instagram if I have to. It's not anything to write home about, but I did get my Pebble ice machine to work. It broke. Zeb had fixed it, and then it wasn't working again. And so I slapped it around and moved the cords, and it started working.
Literal slapping.
I literally slapped my ice machine. I was like, listen here, you're already broken, so I can't make you any worse. I don't know what it did, but it's working now. This is so detailed.
Yeah,
this would have been great to spray.
Those have a ton of detail on them.
Because we are blurry. All right. Are we blurry for everybody? Sometimes you need to change your resolution, and sometimes it's the internet on the other side, but I'm going to double check. And just
every now and then we're blurry on our side. It does happen, but it's pretty rare.
No, it's looking good. I'm looking at it on Facebook, and it's clear. So it might have gotten clearer, or it could just be on their end. Because internet works 2 ways. We have my internet and your internet, and if one of them decides to act up, then it gets blurry. It can be ours. It does happen from time to time. Hopefully the kids aren't on the internets.
They're not. Just
the boys. Eliza's off at camp. Odelia's on a cruise with grandma. This candlestick is taking forever. It's going to definitely need 2 coats. So I'm going to have to put it outside.
Well, I'm going to put mine outside. Then I'm going to show you this clock back here because you're going to want to see it.
You're going to want to see the clock up close.
I was going to dark wax it, but the molds are still, I used the air dry clay, and they're not quite dry enough to wax it because you got to push and buff and rub that wax off. So you got to wait for your molds to get all the way dry. I'm
not a huge fan of lots of Queen Bee in the shop, but in small doses, it really does pop. It looks very French. I did a really cute bench a while back in it, and it sold right away.
I may do this same color palette. Like this is yellow with dark accents underneath, and now it's crinoline.
So
but the clock is crinoline and dark underneath, so I might do the same colors
you want to take this out for me?
Yeah, give me just a sec.
Then I don't have to touch it. Hey, Carol. She says, considering that there are 24 hours and 7 days a week, you two are amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I think, you know, we're all amazing. We just happen to have a show on Facebook and YouTube.
Oh,
People do lots of hard things.
These are the things you can't see that need to go out.
Yeah, those all that stuff. I think that one's almost all the way dry. I was going to remind you guys, today is the very last day to sign up for the craft kit. If you guys haven't seen that, we showed it last week when we did our shop tour. It's been super popular. We have sold like something like 70 or 80 craft kits since last week, which is a lot because we normally only plan 150. So I have notified my stencil manufacturer that tomorrow I'll give her a final count. Some people have already had theirs mailed out because we planned on 150. So those have mailed out, but we have more supplies. So once we get more stencils in, then we can send all the rest of them out. So it's a good craft kit. People were really excited.
We got to wait to order till they close though, because we don't want to end up with like 80 aprons that we can't do anything with. Yeah.
So I'm just waiting to see how much more we need. Let me grab the craft kit link for you. I'll drop that in the comments.
While she's grabbing links.
It's worth looking at because Zeb's super cute in his apron.
Who said that?
I said that.
Oh.
There's the link to the craft kit.
So the clock was this color before. I'm going to paint the back once I'm all done.
But it still needs dark wax.
And it didn't have any molds. These are IOD molds from Classic Elements mold. And the air dye clay, it's pretty dry, but I can feel it's still a little spongy. So I got to let those molds cure up before we dark wax. But check out that finish on that. Isn't that cool?
No, you did good. It looks like worn denim to me.
This is a mix. This paint on top is Hay Sailor, two parts Hay Sailor, 1 part Aviary in the DIY color, with crinoline underneath with salt wash.
Zeb worked hard on that for our channel members. It was a good video. I ate some bad Mexican food last night, so I'm a little bit not feeling great. I didn't get a lot of sleep, and my stomach is still kind of protesting. I really liked my lunch, and I took the leftovers home, knowing that I had a long ride home, and it sat in the car for way too many hours, and I should have just said nope. But it was a really good taco, but it wasn't worth it.
I need to do a quick repair on this, so I'm going to duck out real fast and be right back.
They said that that's really pretty.
Thanks. It was a really fun project. I love it.
Let me drop also, if you guys see anything we're painting, they may still be available. The pictures obviously aren't updated because we're still working on painting this week's thrift haul, but you could probably tell what it looks like. Some things have already sold, but not everything. Saturday was actually like a crazy good day for our live thrift haul. We sold a ton of stuff. But all right, I just linked the entire thrift haul collection, and later today I'm actually planning on, we're going to do business coaching at 1:30, and then after that I'm going to take a nap because, like I said, I didn't feel good last night, and then I'm going to get all the pictures updated of everything we've painted thus far, and I'm going to work on next week's thrift haul because it's actually still sitting on our dining room table because we were going to finish it yesterday and we just decided to have fun with the kids instead. It was Pioneer Day. It was a holiday here.
All right. I'm gonna be a little loud. This is my nail that's a punch.
Oh, Sandra says, take this candlestick out for me. It's all right, Sandra. I can do it. Maybe by the time I take it out, it'll already be dry.
All right, I got a hammer real quick. Okay, fixed. One of the nails I used as a punch because it's nice and thick, and then the other nail is thin, and that's what I drove.
What is Pioneer Day? We like to call it Utah's second 4th of July. It's this, like, we celebrate the same way we do 4th of July, and it's to celebrate the pioneers.
It's a very patriotic type holiday.
Yeah, it's the pioneers coming into Utah after being persecuted and chased out of like Missouri. And if you look up the Mormon pioneer history, you can kind of look into that. And when they finally made it to Utah, this is where they got to stay because they tried to set up a few different places. Missouri actually had like an extermination order that they actually did not take off the law books until 1917 or 1970. I think you could kill somebody that belonged to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, part of the extermination order. I mean, I think they would have still prosecuted you, but it was on the law book still. Because Governor Boggs had an extermination order. So they had to leave, and they came to Utah. The pioneers did. And so we celebrate.
Missouri is actually a pretty great place. I've been there. I love Missouri.
Well, yeah, no, I'm not dissing Missouri now. I'm just saying that's why they left.
Yeah.
So there's the history.
Did you want to paint this metal? Or what are we doing?
Yeah, but I want to decoupage that.
Oh, like on the ends or on the metal part? Yeah,
I was actually, could you bring one of those papers that would fit on both sides of this that would look good that we're working on possibly coming out with?
Oh, we're coming out with them. You guys are going to see them.
This is like a little teaser.
We meant to say show the retailers, but we have a project, so you're going to get to see them.
We haven't officially, we could still make changes at this point. We got to get your guys' opinion. Give me something like farmhousey. It shows your phone number. Leah, I just see your name. Shelly said, I didn't know that. I live in Missouri and I didn't know that. It's not really something that Missouri wants to talk about. A lot of things happened back in the day that weren't great. It's not that way anymore. And we just celebrate that this is the place. Because they say that President Brigham Young came over the mountain and he was on the mountains in Salt Lake Valley and said, this is the place. And it actually looked like a horrible, desolate desert. I'm sure that they came all the way from beautiful green Missouri and were like, are you sure this is the place?
Well, they just came through the mountains up by Park City.
Yeah, but this was the place, and there you go. That's the story. Okay, I'm almost done.
Should I do a base color underneath this, or?
Well, you could. What paper are we going to use? I wasn't planning on using that paper. No, I want something to cover the whole sides.
Oh.
Yeah, no, not that.
Sorry. I didn't really show them. They just kind of saw it sitting over here.
Yeah, I need a sign for the sides.
Oh, well, I was going to do this.
Okay, that's fine too. So paint that white.
See how that works?
Yeah, paint that white. But what do you want to paint the rest of it? Are you going to paint the whole thing white or?
Yeah, I'll paint this white and the inside and everything.
Okay.
But I need.
You're the boss.
Okay, so this is an idea I've had for a long time. This is an old cheese wood cheese mold. So it's got one side, two sides, so you can do the whole cheese mold, and then you can do the ends, and then you have two extras in the decoupage. And we left them white because I actually painstakingly removed these off of wood cheese boxes so that they could be printed in this format. It was very tedious, but I did it because I love you guys. But we intend on tea staining the rice paper, and we'll show that later, not today.
Not like before we ship it.
No. We're going to show you how so that you can do it if you want.
Yeah. So I had a question. Lee, somebody said, how much will a milk paint sample cover? Sorry, that scrolled by too fast. So a milk paint sample would cover 2 big candlesticks and probably this tote. It's 4 ounces. So DIY paint samples are 8 ounces and milk paint samples are 4 ounces. So like a DIY paint sample will paint like a couple of small chairs, and a milk paint sample, if it's a darker color, you could paint a chair with it if it was a smaller chair or a little side table. All right, I'm gonna heat gun this so I can pick it up.
So this is vintage linen. It's a really great, cool white. It's like a white that pulls gray in certain lights. And depending on what your lighting looks like in the evening when it's dim, it can almost look like a light blue color or light gray.
So as far as Pioneer history goes, back to Pioneer Day, Zeb's great-great-great-grandfather, Grandpa Peterson, he was a pioneer that came from Sweden. and helped settle Lehigh in the mid 1800s.
1860.
And so if you go to the Lehigh Cemetery, you can find Grandpa Peterson's. He has a big headstone, tombstone, and it has like a pioneer like label on it that they put on there. So his family. And then ironically enough, we bought some other land and there's pioneer history from Zep's family in that area too. I'm just gonna, I didn't get full coverage on that. Is this yellow queen bee?
I
Yes.
recently found out, and my dad probably knows, he just doesn't tell me these things because it's not on his mind. My 3 great grandpas ago, Grandpa Ray is buried in Fillmore, Utah, which is about an hour and a half south of us. And he came straight from Georgia.
I'll just heat gun these. Then I don't have to move.
Or no, Mississippi, where he's from. And England before that.
The Blessed Mess loves your paper.
Oh, thank you.
I
It's
love
going to be
cheese
fun.
boxes.
It's going to be really fun. We've got some fun ideas for it. And they're getting hard to find. There's not a ton out there that are in good shape. A lot of people have cut them up and used them to make like fun little drawers, which is great, but now you can make your own drawers. We have a few different designs coming out. This is just one of them.
Oh, the closed captioning is up on Facebook. For a while there, it wasn't popping up. Alley Cat said the first ever visit to our channel was when we toured the farmhouse that we're living in now. That's been 4 years ago we bought this house. Does it seem like 4 years ago?
Yeah. July 2019, the day we got keys, we started demo. We ripped out like the whole living room.
Well, it feels like
it was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I came over here with a hammer and worked until like 10 o'clock at night.
Oh, the View shop. Our shop is not linked to Facebook right now. So when we got hacked like multiple months ago, we haven't been able to re-sync that up, Julie. So let me just drop you a link in here. Let me just go to. I'm just going to drop it in comments, and that'll just take you straight to our website. All right, Julie, it should be in comments now, and if you click that link, it should work. Why is it not? It doesn't look like a link though. Hold on. We'll try it again. Hold, please. Okay, yep, it should take you. I just clicked it. Sorry about that. We're working on getting our Facebook shop synced to our website, but it's been a pain in the bum.
I'm going to go set this outside because it's going to need a second coat on all of the tin areas. Then I want it to dry quick. It should dry fast. The DIY paint is clay-based. If you set it out in the warm sun, it dries pretty quickly.
Or if you just heat gun it.
Yeah, I could just heat gun it. But I'm going to cut out my pages, like my paper.
Oh, good. Julie said that worked. It's so hot in Florida. It's been warm here, but we're not over 100, I don't think. We're in the high 90s, and then it like cools down into the high 60s for our low. So like when we have to get work done outside, if we get up early, we don't have to deal with the crazy heat. Four years, and you were still wearing glasses when I started watching. Yep, I think I got my LASIK done though like 5 years ago. It was before we got the house.
I think it was 2018 or 2017. One of the two.
It's been a while. They were actually going to do a commercial with me, and then that kind of fell through because we did a brand deal. We were going to. It was actually a huge blessing. We were going to pay for me to get LASIK. I'd saved the money, and then I thought, well, I'll just contact them and see if they'll give me a deal if I like do some promotional online. And this is before we were really even that big. So I wasn't expecting much. And she's like, we'll do it for free if you'll do a commercial. Yeah. So someday I will have a commercial with Hoops Vision. It was amazing. And it was so great to go from being completely blind to walking out of Hoops Vision and being able to see.
Well, and your eyesight's better than mine now. Mine's actually starting to go a little. I used to be like a solid 2020, 2015 when I was a kid. And now I'm like, it's all looking blurry. Okay. So I got my little logos cropped out.
It has so much detail where the paint pulls up.
So you can get a whole front and back with one paper.
Thomas, Nancy, I usually will do that like once I get them painted. When I'm listing the thrift haul, it's usually like 50. In fact, this last week it was 70 items. And so I usually don't get it done on time. But if you need them measured, if you email Caitlin, I can measure them for you.
So this little planter is getting painted, right? It was in the to be painted box. Some dust down in there. Jamie.
What?
This is getting painted, right?
Yeah, it's got a chip.
Oh, where?
On one of the feet. I don't know. You could just paint it, Hey Sailor. It'd be cute.
All right. I think I'm gonna heavy distress it though. You know how I do. I like to do that.
You're gonna what?
Heavy distress it.
Oh, that's fine. That one's done. I'm gonna let that cool off a little bit and heat gun. Actually, I could second coat this and maybe this will be even more dry by the time I have to heat gun it. What color are the candlesticks? These are Queen Bee and they're drying lighter, but the color will be darker when I seal it because the clay paint.
Fall's not here yet, but the decor is coming.
The fall decor is coming. And I'm probably gonna seal these up and then I'll probably do a dark wax on them. I think that's gonna be good. Finding Lashimi says, Zeb, it might be time for readers.
So I don't have trouble reading. It's anything that's like backlit, like an astigmatism. And I can see pretty good. Like if I got my polarized sunglasses on, I see fine outside. I got light blue eyes.
He has a prescription. He's actually going next Friday with the kids that all need to have their vision checked to the eye doctor. So you'll probably
they don't actually adjust my vision much. The lenses they like work with that astigmatism.
Well, you haven't been in for a few years, so you don't actually know.
Yeah, it's been
where you're at.
I think I went in 2020 because I remember having to wear a mask. There's like a greasy sticker in here. It's gone now. All right, I'm gonna make my blend. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, so 2 parts Hey Sailor, 1 part aviary. I'm not measuring, so it's subjective.
Siri opened up when you said that and gave you the definition of sailor. I don't even know how to get out of here.
Oh.
On the laptop.
Nice. That's funny. I still got some white on my brush. That's fine. I'm going to use it to mix.
Fun fact, when I went and got my eyes done, they told me I had extra tissue on my eyes. So if I wanted to have LASIK done again, because normally you do LASIK once and then the next time if you have to have it touched up, you have to do PRK. They said I could do LASIK at least twice. I'm like, well, you know, of all the weird things
bonus eye layers.
Yeah, I got extra eye tissue. Yay me. I mean, I guess it's better than having not enough eye tissue.
So just that white on the brush just adds a little creaminess to this color. It's great.
What are my favorite paint brushes? I like the Klingons, which is what I'm using. And then I also do like the new paint brushes from Debbie's Design Diary. We use both of them pretty interchangeably. It kind of depends on the project that I'm working on.
Oh, another sticker.
Oh,
imagine that.
Can you fix the camera?
Yep.
If I don't get 100% coverage, I'm okay because I'm going to wet distress this back.
You're going to give them a heavy distress or just a light Jamie distress?
Starlet's Creative Life said she just looked at the before photo and she's loving this queen bee. It is pretty. And this is a really fun project to use it on because these are so just detailed. And when I wet distress and bring back that dark color, they're going to look good. They're going to be pretty in my fall display.
They're not going to make it to your fall display. Someone's going to scoop them up.
That does happen sometimes, which is not the worst thing in the world. I mean, the name of the game is to sell the stuff. Somebody saw one of our shorts and they were like, I bet they're just going to sell that all online. And I'm like, darn tootin'. People don't realize that our thrift stores, I have explained it, so if you follow us, you know, and I'm sorry for repeating myself, but our thrift stores do not need home decor for needy people. They need cash for needy people. And there's still so much home decor when we're left over that if somebody needed to do some decorating on a budget, I promise you, I leave plenty on the shelves because it is so busy and full. And the thrift stores literally have to like chuck stuff or ship it elsewhere because they get so many donations here in Utah. They are so glad when we come in and buy stuff because they take that. We spend between $150 and $200 every week at the thrift store, and that money goes straight to charity. Some of it is paying their employees, like they have some special needs employees or they do job rehabilitation training, but they are happy to take our money every week. And I feel good about that. I feel good about buying stuff, giving it a new life, and having the money go to charity. So there you go. There's my spiel. Oh, people are still talking about cataracts.
I probably will have a problem with those cataracts.
Yeah, Jackie is on here and she knows DIs are packed with good stuff, especially here in Utah. It's not the same at every DI. It really just depends on the donations, but here people are good donators. They would rather donate than deal with a yard sale. They just take the tax deduction. And so they bring, I mean, I did it in a video a while back. I filmed them. It was a Saturday and they were lined up like 15 cars deep in multiple lanes with trailers full of stuff. That's going to dry over there for a little bit.
How pretty that color came out. It's a little blendy because I mixed it with the brush.
Yeah, we don't pay any taxes at our thrift store because it's a charity. I know a lot of the charity shops, like in the UK, they call them charity shops because that's what they are. They aren't just thrift stores. They go to like dementia, heart. What are the charity shops we shopped at in the UK? The British Heart Association.
Yeah,
dementia, special kids with special needs. Like that's where their thrift stores are, literally charity shops, and most of their employees are volunteers.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the people, when they retire from their jobs, they get a part-time job where they work for
quite a few
thrift
younger
store.
people working there too.
But I noticed there was a lot of retirees, was like a huge percentage of it. Ooh, Leslie made her smoothie. I want a smoothie, Leslie.
Sounds delightful.
Crosley says, I wish our thrift stores here in Texas are not as good as y'all's. Where you live in, Crosley? I follow Exo McKenna, and she was at a thrift store that looked pretty good. I can't remember what it was called. She's there about a year ago, and it was in Boerne, Texas. And she did like staged up a little display in the thrift store. I can't remember. I'm gonna have to watch the episode again. When I am done thrifting, but I need a thrifting fix, I like to watch other people thrift. I guess it seems funny since that's the video content we make, but it's also helpful to see the way other people film and put their videos together. I've been trying, because I edit our videos now, I've been trying to implement some new things, some layering techniques, and a little bit more behind the scenes in the videos. And that's been fun. Fort Worth. I don't think I've ever been there. My St. Vincent's is like your DI. We have a St. something, St. Lawrence maybe, and Heber, which is about 45 minutes from here. And I like their store. They are more expensive, but they have really good stuff.
Yeah, they have like a lot of actual antiques.
Yeah, I don't mind ponying up a little bit more if the stuff is really good and I know I can make profit. Teresa says, I volunteer 5 hours a week at our local thrift stores and 5 hours a week delivering meals for seniors in North Dakota. That's awesome. I would love to do Meals on Wheels. That would be super fun. Definitely retirement goals for me. I used to volunteer as a teenager. I didn't have like a job for quite a while. And so I volunteered at a nursing home for fun. And it was great.
All right. I'm going to do this and then we're going to get these on
cancer
there.
research. That's another one. RSPCA.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Elaine says the Houston DI charges more than RDI, but less than their Goodwill. I was hearing from, there was who else lives in Houston? Ian was saying that they don't have as much stuff, but
he said they had really good stuff when they first opened.
That's because they brought it from Utah. Like legit, they do
bring, when they open a new store, they bring a lot of the best stuff from all the other thrift stores to it.
They pack them. And then if the locals aren't donating, like they only have what people can bring them, Rhoda says, I don't need anything, so your videos are my guilty pleasure because she doesn't thrift. I actually have a friend of mine locally that when she can't get to the thrift store, because she shops the same one as me, but when she can't get there, she watches us to get her fix.
Well, and she's currently doing a wedding, and so Jamie's like, I got some extra stuff at the shop.
No, it's not a wedding; it's a baby shower.
Oh, a baby shower.
Which reminds me, I need to get Kelly that cookie jar.
Like, I got some extra stuff at the shop that you can just use.
San Antonio has a big selection of thrift stores. That's awesome. Oh, Angela says they absolutely brought stuff from Utah because there was a Lehigh track jacket.
Oh, yeah. That probably wasn't getting donated in Houston.
No, probably not.
Pretty low chance. All right. I'm going to wash this really quickly, and then we'll decoupage.
And I'm going to get the second coat on this. I'm going to wash my hands to get all the queen bee off of it. And then I will bring in all of my Hey Sailor stuff and we'll get them finished.
Never mind. I had a clean brush in here. We'll wash that one later.
Yard sales are my best. I like yard sales, but sometimes I feel like they're hit and miss. And we literally spend maybe an hour a week thrifting. We really don't. Unless there's not good stuff, which does happen occasionally, we don't spend that long. Like when I edit those videos the video I put up is 13 minutes. When I sat down to edit that video, I had 15 minutes of footage and we were probably in the thrift store, maybe 30, 40 minutes.
And probably a solid 10 to 15 of that is checking out.
That's why I can promise people there's still more stuff because they just keep bringing it out. Like we could hang out at the thrift store all day and pick off of every cart they bring out. I don't know what I'd do with all the stuff, but we could.
Also, I don't think we'd make it past in about an hour.
No, I'd lose my mind.
Okay.
I got stuff to do.
Liquid patina in the crystal clear, our favorite decoupage medium, works with the tissue paper, but also works really well with these rice papers because this is a rice paper.
So this is not available yet. We haven't even released them to our retailers yet. We're just finishing up our designs for the fall.
Oh, I cut that too big. Hold, please. I'm going to have to really cut to the edge. Because we're resellers, if they did charge sales tax, like Savers does, we could just show them our resale license and we wouldn't have to pay it because we resell everything that we buy. Business membership is for people that are in businesses like ours that have a creative business, and we talk about everything from where to set up a website to encouragement to how to make good video content. A few weeks ago, we went into the shop before it opened and we talked about staging. So whether you have a store or if you have your staging for a market, we went over and critiqued everybody's videos. We recently did a video collaboration
basically what we do for business. We share that in business coaching. We go live once a week and we have different topics, and we go live anywhere from half an hour to an hour. And then we intermittently will answer questions throughout the week as we can when people have business questions that arise. And we encourage people, because sometimes self-employment can be rough.
It's mostly fun, but
sometimes you're kind of, especially if you don't have a business partner and
when you're the end of the road.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have to move these.
All right, this might be a little big.
First time I see you paint with that mustard. This is Queen Bee. I don't use it a ton, admittedly, but I do use it in the fall. Like, it is one of my favorite fall colors. And I've been saying for a while, I need to get some more Queen Bee in the shop. So
this fits almost perfectly. I'm probably going to have to sand the edges a little on the top and the bottom.
All right. Those are good. I'm going to rinse this brush out and wash my hands.
Okay.
And yes, I'm wearing Zeb's sweatpants. It's one of the joys of working at home. I was wearing shorts earlier, but I have the air conditioning on and I got really cold. So Zeb, we have about 15 minutes.
Oh, I'll be done.
Just letting you know. This Queen Bee is like, it's like painting with red. It gets everywhere when you're cleaning your brush.
Yeah, for sure. It's all over the place. I think these will be fun to do on actual wood, with the wood peeking through back behind.
Well, that is actual wood.
Well, it's painted though.
Oh.
Like, just go clear and done.
Well, you could have dark stained it.
I could have.
You could have. It's too late now. So I'm going to bring in that navy blue stuff. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but we'll see.
You don't.
You guys do, you go in spurts, Apothecary, Cake Batter, Sandy Blonde. Now, two that you rarely use. Yeah, we rotate. We paint in batches. When I'm doing thrift haul, I definitely paint in batches. And I will try to use a lot of the springier colors in the spring. I'm not saying I won't use Apothecary in the fall, but you'll probably start seeing me use more Farm Fresh. That's Apothecary's fall friend. That looks good.
Apothecary's fall friend.
It is. It's a little deeper and richer. It's good.
I think I'm just going to put the little tag right here on the end. Right on
See
the
how
bottom.
good the navy and the Queen Bee look together? I might even use cherry picked at some point. Who knows? All right, for sure, when you're done with your white brush, I'm going to need it, and I'm going to dry brush this. Marquee or Carnival Red. Yeah, I use those in the fall, but I wind up using Marquee a lot at Christmas time. It's a really great Christmassy red. Charger colors.
I like where you're at. It is that season.
Football season is coming up. Zeb, you have our fly swatter over here.
It's fine. I was busy beforehand.
I'm going off the color rails. I'm about to white dry brush this, so lest you think I've completely changed my style.
All right, the inside needs to dry a little more, but I'm going to go take this outside so it can dry.
Can I have your white brush?
I think I put it in the sink. I was going to wash it and use it for sealer, so it's like half washed.
Okay, let me.
No, that's a fun little tote. This could probably use some more embellishment here, but this, if it was a cheese box, this would fit on the end.
What I'm thinking that you need to do on the end is actually take off those little squares because they look weird, and you need to just do a cow paper on the end.
A cow paper?
Yeah.
This is a pretty large. All right, that's a good call. Oh no, it's already sticking.
It's all right. You can sand it off or something. The sides are perfect, but the ends, if I was going to do it, like, I would either just leave it plain on the ends and leave the sides like that, or put cow paper on.
No, it's a good call because it's designed for a smaller box. This tote's much larger than this is designed.
You can do lots of different stuff with it. I'm drying off this here. Where's the white at?
Right here. I'm gonna need it again.
Rhoda says yes, cow paper. Don't we have a new cow paper?
No.
Yes, you do.
Oh, the one with the trees?
Yeah, you might have to use two, but
show them all the things.
This too wet.
Your brush is too wet?
Yes, not dry brushing right. I knew that was going to happen, but I was like, I'll try it anyways just to like see. That's all right. I'll fix it.
Well, I'm going to steal your brush. That's too wet. And use
Fine,
it to
I'll just paint over it.
fix where I
just don't have any dry, clean brushes. All right, what am I going to do, Zeb? Should I do a white?
Are there no dry brushes? I'm sure there's a dry brush over in the drawer.
I feel like being sure about that is risky business. We've used just about, I mean, I could use a little tiny one. That's one we used for wax. Oh! Okay, you were right. If your brush is wet, it makes it hard to dry brush. So let's try this again.
Okay.
Oh, so much better.
I'll be right back. Let me go see what I've got.
So much better. There we go. Now we're getting it done. So I just want to bring out this embossed detail. It was kind of like this weird brown poopy color. And I love the detail on it, but I did not like the brown poopy color. Stacy, so when I watched that video on the James, so if you guys are new here, we also have a vlog channel where we do like homesteading and cooking and demo and things on all of our projects. And I was watching it because Zeb edits that channel and I edit all the videos for this channel. And when I was watching it, my Alexa went on too. It's funny. I was like, I wonder how many people's Alexas went on, because in the video he used Alexa to time his herbs. See where we're going with this? You couldn't really see that detail before. Now it's coming back. Would the cow stamp fit? Yeah, or you could do like a mold if you wanted to. And we're going to give you guys a little sneaky peek. Sneaky peeky. These are not available yet because we will offer them first to our retailers.
This one here, I'm not sure. I need to see how it decoupages. It's a darker print, and I've played with the lightness a couple times, and it's still dark.
I think on white paper, it's going to be good. That's what I'm saying. We're still in the testing phase. Here, can you heat gun? I feel like I got my own heat gun.
Yeah, you've got a heat gun right there.
Do you think blue is definitely a phase or here to stay? I mean, I feel like it's a primary color, so.
It's a phase today.
Like blue in general, I just feel like blues are very soothing. People like them. So I use them a lot, and I like them. I tell you right now, if I painted everything bright red, it wouldn't sell as well. So I don't know what that means, but.
And yellow too.
Yeah, like these will probably sell because they're like a really big statement piece, but people probably aren't going to use like a ton of mustard. It's just like a few pieces here and there. But blues, I feel like go with a lot of different stuff. Okay, I'm going to dry brush the inside of this because I painted the inside of it. Even though this is a pot, somebody's probably going to put a plant in it. Yeah, the thing about shipping paints, we ship paints internationally, but like for Debbie Beard to like have her paints in the UK, it is a huge ordeal. We actually might have a retailer soon that's carrying our paper and stencils in the UK. We have somebody interested, so I will let you guys know. We've been trying to find somebody there forever and haven't been able to. All right. Here this is. I'm just going to seal this. When I seal this, that blue is going to get a lot darker. Thanks, Leslie. She said, looks great. And Angela says, I like your call on the ends. Thanks. If you guys watch our thrift haul on Saturday, this was kind of like a fake rust color. It was kind of pukey looking. It must have been a theme. It must have been real popular at one point because that tin there was kind of dark and moody, and so was this one. I'm a fan of the dry brush. If Zeb was working on these, he'd probably be doing a white wash and getting white paint everywhere.
A white wash, or also I've been just distressing back, like brushing it on and then distressing back.
I don't like to do white washes when I'm this close to the MacBook Pro. I feel like you can appreciate that.
Well, the last time you did something that was real wet over there, you got sealer all over it.
Happens. So the nice thing about, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, this is gonna dry real quick. I'm gonna show you what the paper looks like before I cut the other one.
I was just gonna say, adding the white to these will allow for me to also take like white candlesticks that I paint and throw them in with this. And so I'll have like white and queen bee and navy all together, and it's gonna look good.
All right, so yay or nay, you guys get the vote first. I'm gonna probably do this, and I might even add another size down the road. I'm currently trying to source paper that's like doesn't cost an arm and a leg, so that my larger prints are actually viable. Right now, the few larger prints I've done are like $3 for one sheet of paper. But you know, we'll see what we find. If I don't find larger paper, then we'll just keep doing this size. And we are coming out with another big print,
like a 20 by 30. They're actually going to be 29 by 30.
The
Our printer
changed how
their
they
size.
do the process, and so they can't do the full 30 inches anymore. Which, you know, 1 inch is not gonna.
It's really not that big of a difference.
If it's on a dresser, that's like ½ an inch on each side.
My brush is really dry right now. I did not want like a heavy dry brush on this. So it's really just, I'll bring this up close so you guys can see it. But this had like an embossed tin that was kind of lost in the dark brown situation that it was. And this dry brush brought out all the detail.
So my idea with this whole line of these smaller rice papers is that they look really good framed, just all by themselves. And if you want, you can use them for decoupage.
They do both.
And they're particularly amazing on small decor pieces.
Well, we have a lot of people that come in the shop that aren't like super crafty, but they're like, yeah, I can take a frame and put some paper in it and make art. They look good, and art's expensive. All right, here this is. I think I'm going to do a little bit more dry brush in a few areas to even it out, but see the detail there.
All right, what's the consensus, Jamie? Do they like this paper? Do they want it? Do they not?
Is that pure Hey Sailor? Yes, it is. It'll get darker. They love the paper. Beautiful paper, Zeb.
All right.
It'll get darker when I seal it, but it is pure Hey Sailor underneath here.
I mean, I got to do something with it because I've already got the licensing.
Zeb and I, maybe when we first got started, we were a little overzealous, and we licensed a lot of artwork and paper for decoupage paper. So we have a lot of options.
So these curved edges, I could wet cut them, but I might just sand them off because I'm going to distress the whole thing. So I'll let it dry and then I'll sand these edges off.
Ta-da! We make it look easy. It is pretty easy.
Don't let her fool you though. She's got thousands of hours of practice.
That is true. But there's not like a secret tip that I'm not sharing. Do you have the razor blade?
Sure do.
I need to paint the bottom of this. Looks pretty yucky.
All right, I'm going to set this outside super quick. We got about 3-4 minutes. I don't know if I can get this one side dry enough. I don't want to heat gun it though.
I probably won't get those candlesticks done, so you'll just have to imagine that they're wet distressed. Or maybe you could just wet distress my candlesticks for me. Can Zeb show the ends closer? Yeah, he's going to let that dry, and he will bring it closer to you. I should say yes, not yeah. Yeah, it's not proper English. They really want to see the ends of that. So we need to,
I'll bring it back in before we go.
Yeah, so see how dark this is when I'm brushing it on?
I already have my outline done for business coaching, so I don't need any extra time. We can just set the live up and go.
Yeah, when I seal it, it's going to be that color, so it'll be more contrast than what you're seeing here. So it'll really pop. And if you want a darker navy, you can add black to the navy, just a little bit of black to Hey Sailor, and it's good. Rashonda says, I love dry brushing. Me too. It's funny because when we were at Debbie's shop maybe a year ago, before she moved out of the big shop, I did a bunch of dry brushing and she was like mind blown. And then on her video that she did last week, she dry brushed. After she blended, she did some dry brushing to like get better coverage. And I was like, look at that. And I learned, it's funny because I learned how to dry brush the very first time when I went to her boot camp. It wasn't from her, it was a DIY boot camp. And it was one of the people on my team. They just dry brushed and I was like, wait a second, that's amazing. It's just a great way to add texture. And sometimes if you just have like a rattan, you can dry brush like gray, brown, and white, just layer the dry brushing and then you don't even have to paint it all the way and it looks really good. Have you ever answered me, can we expect a navy in the cottage color? So we're just waiting on the manufacturer to say that we can have darker tones. Right now we only have a light base. And so as the cottage color does better.
But this last release has been pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's been really popular. So we're hoping that they will say yes. And then once we get that dark base available to us, then we will we already have the colors picked out. Like we've already done the color work. We just are at the mercy of the manufacturer because it's a huge investment for them to buy all the product and pigments and base and everything necessary to make the paint. So they had to make sure that it was going to be popular, and cottage color is doing very well. You're going to see a lot of cottage color in the video that I'll probably put up late Thursday or early Friday because it's got a built-in sealer. It's just a great way to knock out a bunch of projects. Like all this stuff, I'm going to have to come back later and wax or seal. I might just set up the spray gun with like a top coat and just get it all done. The nice thing about dry brushing too is it brings out the wood grain through the paint if there's enough texture, and I'll show that to you in a minute.
All right, so just kind of slap this paint on here. Not really any rhyme or reason, just kind of haphazard. Just to get it on. This has got a ton of texture, and now I'll probably go back with like a white over this.
That looks really good. That was not pretty before, but now it looks like a relic. All right, can you guys see right there? That's wood grain coming through from the dry brush. And this was painted before I got it, but the wood grain was thick enough that now it's coming out. And when we seal it, it'll pop even more because the base coat will be darker.
And just a damp rag here. That's all I'm doing.
Hey Sailor and a wide dry brush for the win.
So I'm pulling off a little bit of the salt wash because it's super fresh and I only put one kind of thinner coat on there. And I'm okay with that. I'm going to just leave that.
How long have we been doing? So I've had Jamie Ray Vintage on Facebook for 10 years. Zeb quit his job 8 years ago, a little over 8 years ago, and has been working with me full time. What we've done has changed. Can you fix the camera? What we have done has changed over time, but we've both been self-employed full time together for 8 years. When I first started, I had other jobs. I've always been a hustler. I always got some job situation going on at home. I ran an in-home daycare. I did mortgages for many, many years, and then ultimately wound up working at home. What else did I do? I'm trying to think. At one time I did watched a couple kids, did pre-underwriting for mortgages, and then painted furniture while they napped. Oh, it's busy. And Jack was born a year before. Jack is my 5th child. He was born a year before Zeb came home. So I was a busy mama. It's hard to imagine, but we were busier back in the day.
Also in our 30s.
Yeah, also in my 30s. Can you guys see that dark coming through? I'm not going to get these finished because we got to do our business coaching, but I wanted to give you an idea of what this will look like.
You want to show them that up close? It's still wet.
Show them what?
That.
Do you want
I'm going to go grab my box so they can see the ends.
Okay. And this is being sold with those white flowers. I won't put them in there because I don't want to get paint on them, but these are going to look so cute with the white flowers. My fall display is going to be good.
Close-up box. I haven't trimmed the edges yet. I'm waiting for it to dry, and then I'll sand these off or wet cut them, one of the two. Probably sand them. But got the 2 little boys here, some cows in the field. And then I did this side, so you got more of these cows over here. The boys are over there. And then this is that Richland Finest cream cheese. I feel like this paper goes well with this because now you've got where the cream cheese is coming from and the logo.
And they used to do that a lot back in the day. They would have like fine art on the products that you would purchase. So that's kind of fun. I did have a quick question I'm going to answer real quickly. Can you use clear wax on bare wood? Absolutely. Would I do it on like a dining table? No. But like decor or whatever, yeah, you could seal it with that. If you need these paint and products, visit jamierayvintage.com. Zeb's decoupage is not out yet. It's going to be another few weeks. But
we do have a lot of other designs, though. We got like 40 designs.
We're sneaky peeking those. But everything else, including our thrift flips, are available on the website. And we will see you on the next episode, which is our Waste Not Wednesday live at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Bye, guys.
We'll catch you guys later. Thanks for hanging out.